Good evening to you. I'm John Reynolds, and last night a college football national champion was crowned as Alabama took on Ohio State. And much like national championship games of old, Alabama returned to the top of the college football mountain, rolling to their 18th national title in program history with a dominant 52-24 win over number 3 Ohio State in the 2021 College Football Playoff National Championship. Now undefeated at 13-0 and unchallenged throughout much of the season, the Crimson Tide put themselves in a special light even among the program's 6 national championship winning teams to play for Nick Saban. Quarterback Mac Jones, running back Najee Harris, and Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver Devontae Smith more than answered the call as they led one of the best offenses in Alabama history and showed out for the biggest game of the year with 621 yards of total offense. Their 52 points are the most ever scored by Alabama in a national championship game and the most in a Crimson Tide bowl game since 1953. Smith was nearly unstoppable, pulling in 12 catches on his first 13 targets for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns before leaving the game with a hand injury. Jones got banged up a little bit as well, but still finished with 464 yards and 5 touchdowns on 36 of 45 passing. Najee Harris, who like Smith was one of the few current Alabama players to be on the team during its last national title run, was an all-purpose machine with 178 yards from scrimmage with 79 rushing, 79 receiving, and 3 total touchdowns. Ohio State entered the game with a chip on its shoulder created through weeks of doubt regarding its status as one of the best teams in the country. But last night there were notable setbacks like starting running back Trey Sermon leaving the game after one drive with an injury and having numerous players unavailable, some a result of COVID-19 protocol. But the lopsided result was more of a reflection of Alabama's distance from the rest of the sport in this 2020 season. Nick Saban spoke to how this team set themselves apart from the teams he's coached in the past.
This team accomplished more almost than any team. No disrespect to any other teams that we had or any championship teams, but this team won 11 SEC games. No other team has done that. They won the SEC and went undefeated in the SEC. And then they beat 2 great teams in the playoffs with no real break in between. This is our 5th game in a row, from LSU to Arkansas to Florida to Notre Dame to here. With all the disruptions that we had in this season, I think there's quite a bit to write about when it comes to a legacy of a team.
To the NFL now, as the Atlanta Falcons interviewed Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator Arthur Smith for the head coach position remotely on Monday. Now, under Smith in 2020, the Titans offense finished that regular season ranked number 3 in the league in total yards per game and number 2 overall in rushing yards per game, as running back Derrick Henry rushed for 2,027 yards and scored 17 touchdowns. Smith has been with the Titans since 2011 and has held a number of positions, including tight ends coach, offensive line assistant, offensive quality control coach, and defensive quality control coach as well. Now, along with Smith, the Falcons have also interviewed interim head coach Raheem Morris, Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, Panthers OC Joe Brady, Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett, and Buccaneers DC Todd Bowles for the vacant head coach position as well. And finally, last night, the Hawks squared off with the 76ers at State Farm Arena. The Hawks entered this one on a 4-game skid and struggling offensively. But last night, the Hawks finally found their groove as Trae Young scored 26 points, including the first 3 baskets of Atlanta's dominant start to the second half. And center Clint Capella added 12 points and 10 rebounds as 6 Atlanta players scored in double figures. Young, who has held to a combined 22 points in his last 2 games, regained his scoring touch. Young's spurt would key Atlanta's 15-2 run to open the half, and the Hawks stretched a 65-50 halftime advantage to an 80-52 lead with that run. Now, some may question the Hawks' dominant win, though, due to Philadelphia being far from full strength, as Ben Simmons was yet again held out. Tobias Harris and reserve Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, and Vincent Poirier were also held out again due to COVID-19 protocols. Now, the Hawks also announced that they've pushed back their plan to allow about 1,700 ticketed fans to home games. The target date to allow 10% capacity was changed from January 18th to January 26th. The Hawks credited an abundance of caution for making the change after consulting with state and health officials. The team has had only a few family and friends attend home games so far. But up next for the Hawks is a 3-game road trip starting Wednesday night against the Phoenix Suns. And for South Georgia TV News, I'm John Reynolds.